Some of the most anticipated airliners are now released in Microsoft Flight Simulator, such as the Just Flight BAE 146, the Fenix A320, and the PMDG 737. This leads us just to one question: what is next for airliners in Microsoft Flight Simulator? In this video, we're going to take a look at the next 5 airliners that are coming to the sim in the near future. Welcome to another Flight Sim video. In these videos, we aim to bring you all the Flight Sim news in one place. So if that sounds right up your taxiway, please hit that subscribe button, as 72% of people that watch the Oz Flight Sim channel are not subscribed, and that would really help us out if you click that little red button. Some of the most anticipated study level airliners have already been released, which brings us to one question: what is left? Can we expect to see other classic or modern airliners at a study level have been developed for the simulator? The great news is there's many currently in development right now, so let's take a look at what's next and where they are in the development stage. TFDI announced they are in development with the MD-11 and it would come to a Microsoft Flight Simulator, and they announced this back at Flight Sim Expo in 2021. At the announcement, the team claimed its aim was to bring a beyond study level version to both P3D and Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is a very bold claim from the developers, but from what we're seeing with them in the past, the works is definitely possible. At the time of the announcement, the team mentioned that the MD-11 is around 50 to 60% through its development, with the FMS, or the FMC I should say, and various other systems already working inside the sim. TFDI explained that the MD-11 will simulate failures, abnormal procedures, and circuit breakers. As an example, if there's a system overload, it can lead to circuit breakers and that cascading to other failures for the rest of the aircraft. This is something we haven't seen in other aircraft simulations for a very long time, or not at all, and the way that they can do this is some code that will be running outside of the sim, so it won't be limited to the effects of the simulator. The MD-11 will be available for both passenger and freighter versions. Most of the modeling work has been completed already, and in the last update from the team in late 2021, they mentioned that the MD-11 will really come along in the next 6 months. We are expecting to hear more news from the team soon around the release date and more detail on features. We're hoping that the hype set from the TFDI MD-11 will live up to it. If the next aircraft will have as close to the realism as we're seeing with the Just Flight latest release of the BA 146, we'll be in for a real treat when it comes to the Fokker F-28 Fellowship. The team have been in development for over a year now with this project, and it's been slowly evolving the Fokker over that time. The 4 main variants of the F-28 will be released with the product of the 1000 to the 4000, and Just Flight have access to the real version of the aircraft, and the testing team is even made up of people who've actually worked on a real Fokker. The Fokker is a 50-year-old aircraft. From the looks of the in-development screenshots of the F-28, it will look like it hasn't just come out of the hangar. It would look like it has wear and tear of a 50-year-old workhorse. Each variant will come with its own realistic flight dynamics based on real-world performance and handling data, and variants will be supplied with a range of liveries from all around the world. The Fokker is planned to be compatible with Microsoft Flight Simulator's VR, and it will come with its own EFB tablet, and it's set to be feature rich. Just Flight Fokker F-28 Fellowship is planned to be released in the first part of 2023, and we are expecting this classic airliner to be received very well in the community. Aerosoft released its first detailed aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which was the CRJ. This gave us the first taste of what a high detailed airliner is all about in the sim. Now Aerosoft is working on their next detailed aircraft, which is the Airbus A330, and it's set to be released before the end of the year. The team is planning on making sure that this will be Xbox compatible, but we may not see it on console straight away after the release. Being a wide-body aircraft, the Airbus is a good choice for the next aircraft, as this is something we are missing in the simulator right now. At this stage, we've seen detailed screenshots of the internal and external 3D modelling of the Airbus in night and day, and from what we can see so far, the A330 will look very realistic. Texturing appears to be well on the way, and some shots have even featured the Lufthansa livery. Not too much has been said so far about the list of features when it's released. When we heard from the team at last, they said the development was going smoothly, and the Airbus A330 from Aerosoft will be released later this year. Earlier this year, Bluebird Simulations announced they were in development with a Boeing 757 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Since that original announcement, we've seen quite a few updates of the 7.5 and it is expected to release in the first part of 2023. Bluebird Simulations are planning to introduce two versions of the aircraft, the first one being for more casual for the simmers and the other one will be more suited for simmers that are wanting more detail. At this stage we don't know if the 757 will be study level, but from what we can see it will be a very high detail version of the aircraft. In our last update from the team, Bluebird had been focusing on getting the virtual cockpit animations completed along with a working FMS and flight dynamics. The virtual cockpit animations are 90% complete and they are starting to integrate them into the systems of the aircraft. Certain autopilot functions are working already, including navigation displays. The PFD is functioning, and once the team is finishing on the FMS, they will switch their focus over to other aircraft systems, including hydraulics, electrical, engine bleed, fuel pressurization systems, just to mention a few. Bluebird Simulations is planning on releasing two versions of the Boeing 757, which is the 200 and the 300 variants. External modeling is coming along nicely. Recently, a lot of work has been on the landing gear, but there is still a lot of parts that is still left to do. Multiple liveries will be available on release, which will cover all regions around the world. Bluebird Simulation plans to update us every 4 to 6 weeks on their progress, and so far they're doing just that. As we mentioned before, the Boeing 757 from Bluebird will be released in the first part or sometime within 2023. AnyBuilds announced they were in development to bring an Airbus A310 a while ago. As it looked to become close to completion, the communication of the A310 from the team went quiet until the announcement of Microsoft Flight Simulator team announced that AnyBuilds Airbus A310 will be released free as part of the 40th year anniversary DLC, releasing later on this year in November. The team is no stranger to the Airbus A310 as they have released it in other sims before, but with its Microsoft Flight Simulator release, they have totally rewritten the code, enhancing all aspects of the aircraft to work native with the sim. We should expect to see a detailed electrical, fuel and hydraulic systems with high detailed FMS, and you will have the ability to have full lateral and vertical guidance modes, including VNAV approaches, NDB and VOR approaches. A detailed rich EFB will be included with the release, and which you can manage weight, balance, interactive with the ground surfaces and much more. The team mentions rest assured all the rivets, panel lines, dirt placements and decals have been technically analysed and placed throughout the aircraft to provide a truly immersive experience. The team have access to real-world aircraft throughout the development and has recorded real sounds from the real deal. With this being a highly detailed aircraft available for free, I can see it being one of the most popular wide-body aircraft through the Microsoft Flight Simulator simulator's life. Let us know in the comments below what airliner are you most looking forward to. If we get to 2,000 likes, we'll make a part 2 of this video and check out another 5 airliners. If you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button. Only 72% of people that watch the channel are not subscribed, so if that's one of you, please don't miss out on any content by hitting the little red button. We're going to leave you with another flight sim video here. Why don't you check that one out, and I will see you over there.